It's Friday, February 7. In the headlines, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness calls for a global war on gangs. Government taking steps to develop the coconut industry. In business news, Jamaican males continue to earn more. Regionally, Guyana secures $22 million for pandemic preparedness. And in sports, Reggae Boys beat Trinidad and Tobago in the first of two friendlies. This is the weekend news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness is calling for a global war on gangs. He's also assuring Jamaicans that his administration will be making a significant investment in ensuring that all the necessary equipment is in place to stem the flow of illegal arms into the island. Dr. Holness was addressing the 2025 security seminar of the Office of the National Security Council at AC Hotel in St. Andrew on Thursday.
Now, we are going to make a significant investment in ensuring that we have all the scanners in our ports, so that a higher percentage of containers and goods coming into Jamaica can be appropriately scanned.
He noted that while Jamaica does not produce guns, it, as well as other countries in the region, has recorded 40% of homicides being committed by firearms.
So this is a key indicator of how deeply firearm trafficking and availability drives lethal violence in Jamaica and indeed the region.
While taking steps to secure Jamaica's borders, he notes that Jamaica's Caribbean neighbors are at war with gangs.
Currently, there are several armed groups threatening states right across Latin America, Central America, South America, and in the Caribbean. You stop to think of it. Island paradise such as the Turks and Caicos, the Bahamas, Trinidad and Tobago, St. Lucia, St. Kitts. I mean, Haiti is the extreme.
Dr. Holness is calling for a global consensus on combating gangs
that will treat with them in the same way that international effort was mobilized in creating standardized legislation across jurisdiction, dealing with finances of gangs, but coordinating how exceptional and emergency powers are used to deal with these criminals who hide under the protection of being citizens of a country.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness is urging Jamaicans in the United States who are facing hardship and uncertainty to return home and stay on the right side of the law. Since taking office in January, U.S. President Donald Trump has deported criminal offenders and individuals living in the United States illegally, which includes some 5,120 Jamaicans.
Come back home. But as I said before, don't come back here to destroy your homeland and what we have been working very hard to create so that you wouldn't have had to leave in the first place. And as I said, we have been making strides in that regard. So expect to be dealt with a firm hand if your intent is criminal.
Dr. Holness was speaking at the Office of the National Security Council's 2025 Security Seminar at the AC Marriott Hotel in St. Andrew on Thursday. He's also urging the returning residents to come back and help build their homeland.
Come back and let us build your homeland so that you can stand up with pride with the citizens of the world about your country. That you don't have to be economic refugees.
Local Government and Community Development Minister Desmond McKenzie is defending the indigent housing program, saying its criteria differs from the social housing program, the NSHP. His clarification comes amid criticism from the Auditor General, who argues that the new social housing program duplicates existing government initiatives.
There is no duplication of the services provided by the Ministry of Local Government. The law is clear. It is our responsibility.
Speaking at this week's post-cabinet press briefing, Minister of Local Government and Community Development, Desmond McKenzie, says beneficiaries under the indigent program are legally registered as poor in accordance with the Poor Relief Act. He adds that houses for the indigent remain the property of the municipal corporations.
I want to make it clear that these programs apply to a set of individuals who are registered under the Poor Relief Act. Beneficiaries of those houses are registered, investigated by the Poor Relief Department, and once they meet the criteria under the Poor Relief Act, they are provided with an indigent housing solutions. The houses remains the property of the municipal corporations.
Minister McKenzie continues, warning against efforts to discredit the indigent housing program.
Every parish in Jamaica will have a night shelter where persons can go and get some comfort. These are initiatives that started under the government of Dr. Prime Minister Andrew Holness. And I take strong exception to anyone who question the right of the government to do what the government is elected to do.
His comments sparked debate, with opposition spokesperson Natalie Nita Garvey among those raising concerns.
The legal status of these homeowners must be clarified, as persons now receiving houses are confused by contradictory statements made by the minister and their original understanding of the program. I'm calling on the government to publicly outline the rules governing these housing provisions.
The Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation quickly responded to concerns, stating that all houses under the NSHP are built on lands provided by the beneficiaries. It explains that land ownership, a long-term lease, or granted permission supported by legitimate claims such as a deed of gift is required to receive a social house under the program. Reporting for the news on PBCJ, I am Denita Rodney.
The Jamaican government is taking decisive steps to revitalize the nation's coconut industry. In a recent announcement, officials outlined a comprehensive strategy to boost production, enhance quality, and expand market reach. This initiative aims to restore the coconut sector to its former prominence, benefiting farmers and contributing to the country's economic growth.
Coconut is a staple of daily life in Jamaica, whether it's the refreshing water, the creamy jelly, or the versatile oil. But behind these popular products is a thriving agricultural crop that requires careful management, innovation, and strategic support to maintain its vitality. This is where the Coconut Industry Board (CIB) comes in. As the global agricultural landscape continues to evolve, so too does the role of the board. With changing climates, natural disasters, and the increasing need for technological advancements, the Coconut Industry Board has been working tirelessly to adapt, innovate, and ensure that coconut farmers remain sustainable, productive, and profitable for generations to come. To address both the immediate and long-term needs of the industry, several key strategies are being implemented to sustain the sector. One of these strategies is a partnership with the Ministry of Agriculture's Preparedness unit to tackle the long-standing issue of theft, enhance security, and protect farmers' viable crops. Additionally, international partnerships are being pursued to drive technological advancements in the sector.
The Coconut Industry Board is looking to partner with countries overseas in where we can utilize technology and bring technology here to you farmers to help improve your agro-processing ventures.
Alongside technological advancements, the CIB is also placing a strong emphasis on tissue culture, and the area that promises to significantly enhance the quality and resilience of Jamaica's coconut trees.
Coconut, according to my scientists, I'm learning also from my scientists, a very fickle crop. It's very stubborn and demanding, and you need a focused expert to bring out the capacity of tissue culture. We have tried experiments in the past and to no avail. So we want to push resources and build a capacity, so we have an expert in Jamaica to facilitate the growth of the coconut industry from a tissue culture standpoint.
The CIB is also focused on revamping its hybridization farm, the only facility of its kind for coconuts in the hemisphere.
We're introducing a new hybrid to the farming population, but it has to go through its natural testing process to add additional value to you, our farmers. And you have to understand the most important thing in introducing a hybrid to the environment is the lethal yellowing resistance. Because based on historical information, we had about 9 million trees in Jamaica producing copra, having a manufacturing process around it. A lot of companies' copra plants were in Jamaica, exporting copra to the United Kingdom and various countries. Because of the lethal yellowing disease and Gilbert, we lost 9 million trees. The Coconut Industry Board, based on its research department and the leadership at the time, thought it relevant to implement a planting program to resuscitate the entire coconut industry of Jamaica. And now we're up to over 4 million trees.
The Coconut Industry Board is clearly focused on the future of the sector. Through a combination of cutting-edge technology, international collaborations, and internal research, the board is positioning itself to tackle the challenges of tomorrow while ensuring the sustainability of the industry today.
We are a blessed country to have a Coconut Industry Board to sustain your livelihood and the entire Caribbean.
Time now for the Business Report with Denise Williams.
Welcome to today's Business Report. I'm Denise Williams, here to bring you the stories shaping the financial world and guiding your journey to smarter business decisions. Let's dive into the top headlines. At the Scotiabank Women Initiative on Tuesday, Claire Bernard, Deputy Director General for Sustainable Development and Social Planning at the Planning Institute of Jamaica, showcased data showing that despite more women matriculating at the tertiary level, men are still being paid more. For every dollar that the average man earns, the average Jamaican woman earns 62 cents. She said that there is also disparities between male and female entrepreneurs. We did a survey in the PIOJ 2 years ago. It said that 80% of the female entrepreneurs surveyed said they had problems getting credit, and 43% had no collateral. So again, we have a major issue, said the PIOJ Deputy Director General. Infinity Cooperative Credit Union Jamaica Limited became the newest member of the local credit union community on February 1, 2025, with the merger of Educom Cooperative Credit Union Limited and Gateway Cooperative Credit Union Limited. The organization will be led by Chief Executive Officer Camille Campbell Drummond, who acted in that capacity at Educom Credit Union since February 2024. She previously served as the Chief Operating Officer before ascending to the position of Acting CEO. Infinity Cooperative Credit Union now has a combined asset base of approximately $31.3 billion and a membership of over 178,000 persons, with a staff complement of approximately 300 team members and 13 island-wide branches. For the second day, the central bank stepped in to slow the slide of the local currency. On Thursday, the Bank of Jamaica, for a second day, intervened in the foreign exchange market with the sale of US $30 million through the BFXITT platform. On Wednesday, the central bank also offered US $30 million on bid through its platform. With the total bids from foreign exchange and authorized dealers amounting to US $66.7 million, the central bank received 39 eligible bids, but only fulfilled 19, or 77.5%. The highest bid price was for $157.54, and the lowest was to buy the US dollar for $157.45. However, the bank's settlement price on the US dollar was $157.43. For the trading period ending February 6, 2025, these were the most actively traded stocks. Office Supplier, Stationery and Office Supplies Limited, with 7,453,123 units traded, representing 34.55% of the total market sales volume. Toll Road Operator, Trans-Jamaican Highway Limited, with 3,413,552 units traded, representing 15.82% of market sales volume. Beverage Manufacturer, Jamaican Teas Limited, with 3,032,490 units traded, representing 14.06% of market sales volume. We now shift our focus to the Forex market rate set by the Bank of Jamaica. On February 6, 2025, the Bank of Jamaica reported US $73.61 million purchased and US $83.40 million sold to Forex traders. Forex traders earned $1.03 in profit per dollar sold, selling the US at $158.13 and buying the US at $157.10. The Canadian dollar netted Forex traders $1.18 per transaction, with selling at $111.50 and buying at $110.32. The British pound yielded Forex traders $9.73 in profits, with selling at $200.68 and buying at $190.95. If you're serious about home ownership and financial freedom, the goal will be to secure a higher credit score for lower interest payments, better loan terms, and more financial flexibility. Here are some options. Stay consistent for 6 to 12 months. Credit improvement takes time, but these steps will help you reach your goal. Also, settle collection accounts. So what should you do? Contact collection agencies to negotiate a settlement or pay for delete agreement. In this action step, you're going to resolve these accounts within the first month to prevent further damage. From nothing to financial resilience, when you hit age 45 or beyond, you're looking at your finances and wondering, is this enough? The truth is, many professional women reach this stage and realize they need more than just a paycheck. They need financial resilience. The key is to create income that works for you, whether it's active, passive, investment, or reoccurring income. What you need is strategy, action, and the right financial mindset. So whether it's work, which is active income, investments, which is passive income, investment income from your assets, or subscriptions or royalties, which is recurring income, the goal is to create financial resilience that lasts. And that wraps up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, reminding you that every financial decision is a step towards your future. Until next time, stay focused, stay informed, and keep striving for success. See you soon.
In regional news, Guyana's Ministry of Health has secured significant funding to boost pandemic preparedness, receiving $15 million in grants from the Pandemic Fund and borrowing an additional $7 million from the World Bank. Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony made the announcement this week, highlighting plans to use the funds for key upgrades, including improvements to laboratories nationwide.
Later this year, maybe in another month or 2 months, we would be working very closely with the World Bank. As some of you know, last year we put in an application to the Pandemic Fund and we were very successful. So we received $15 million for pandemic preparedness. And in addition to that, the World Bank, we are borrowing $7 million from the World Bank. So we now have $22 million for pandemic preparedness. What is it that we'll do with this money? A significant portion of this money is going to be used for improvement in our laboratory services. Because one thing with pandemics, you want to get an understanding of what is happening in the animal population. And if there's a jump of a pathogen from animals to humans, we should be able to detect it. And so the lab that we have here, the NPHRL, this is going to be upgraded to a level 3 lab. So we are investing in this lab. We are going to have a new section where we'll be able to do a lot of sequencing and to do molecular surveillance, and we're investing in the equipment and training to be able to do that. But upgrading the laboratories across the country in the public sector would be one of the goals of this project. And while we are doing that, you would recognize that we don't have the best system to transport samples to our laboratories. And so that is another thing that we'll be putting in place, and we'll be buying a software where all the labs would be able to communicate. And we'll install that so that we'll have a better appreciation of what is going on across the country and to be able to share that information very quickly.
The U.S. decision to impose trade tariffs could have significant consequences for Barbados and the wider region. That's according to UWI's Cave Hill economics professor Winston Moore, who's weighing in on the recent announcement by U.S. President Donald Trump. He also warns that America's withdrawal from the World Health Organization is another worrying development. Trevor Thorpe has more.
The university professor said it would begin with the imposition of tariffs on China. He said China is a key source of goods going through the U.S., and any imposition of tariffs will have a far-reaching effect on Barbados and the region.
So we could see an uptick in terms of inflation. We also have seen the elimination of U.S. aid, and U.S. aid has been a key partner for the Caribbean in relation to a number of development projects, both in terms of education, health, and you name it, a number of different areas. And this has had a significant impact on Barbados and a number of Caribbean islands, where a number of these projects have had to come to a halt. And the projects which have been doing a really good job in terms of stimulating development in the region have no longer been able to continue their really good work.
Professor Moore said tourism and housing projects will be impacted by the imposition of tariffs.
This is going to have implications for ensuring tourism projects, also ensuring normal household properties as well. because as insurance rates go up, it's going to make it a lot more difficult for the typical consumer to afford these insurance rates. So it's going to have impact not only at the macro level, but also the micro level in the Caribbean.
The university professor also drew attention to the effects the United States withdrawal from the World Health Organization will have and what it could mean to small island developing states.
That organization has played a really good, significant role in terms of responding to COVID-19. And if there is a significant outbreak of another disease like COVID-19, that organization is going to be weakened in terms of its response. And as we all saw the significant impact on small and developing states in the wake of COVID. So, as I said, the policies are going to be quite significant from an economic perspective, but there are even larger social and political and geopolitical issues that have to be considered as well.
The newly installed American president has been announcing a cross-section of new measures since taking office. Trevor Thorpe, CBC News.
Paria Fuel Trading Company Limited is pushing back against claims of third-party involvement in its contractual agreement with PetroJam.
Responding to an interview carried on a local television station on Wednesday, Paria condemned the statement made, noting that it contained inaccuracies and misrepresentations regarding the operations and contractual arrangements of both Paria and PetroJam. Paria reminded that it sources marine fuel exclusively and directly from PetroJam, which is subsequently bunkered and sold by Paria to international customers. Paria reiterated the importance of the said agreement with PetroJam, noting that it not only secures a market for its fuel oil, but also presents Paria with the opportunity to supply clean fuel to the Jamaican market.
In sports, we kick off the report with football news as Sule Makala's maiden international goal gave Jamaican Reggae Boys a 1-0 win over Trinidad and Tobago on Thursday at the Montego Bay Sports Complex in the first game of their 2-game friendly series. The win extended Jamaica's unbeaten run against the Soca Warriors to 5 games and was their first win at home against Trinidad since 2014. In cricket, 2 West Indies cricketers are in the global spotlight, earning nominations for the ICC Player of the Month award for January, highlighting the Caribbean's continued impact on international cricket. Nasira Mohammed has that story.
Jamal Warrican and Karishma Ramharak have both earned their maiden nominations following standout performances in recent international series. Warrican, the experienced left-arm spinner, made a stunning return to Test cricket, spearheading the West Indies' success in Pakistan. The 32-year-old claimed an incredible 19 wickets across the 2 matches, including a career-best 7 for 32 in the first Test. He followed that with another match-winning spell in the second Test, bagging 5 for 27 to secure a 120-run victory. His heroics with both bat and ball earned him the Player of the Series award. Meanwhile, Ramharak showcased her class in the West Indies Women's ODI series against Bangladesh. The off-spinner delivered a sensational 4 for 33 in the second match, before topping that performance with career-best figures of 4 for 12 in the series decider. Her efforts not only sealed an 8-wicket victory for the West Indies, but also saw her claim the Player of the Series honours. With both players in the running for this prestigious award, the Caribbean cricket community will be hoping for a historic double triumph. The winners will be announced in the coming days.
And that's it for the weekend news. Pleasant viewing.